What's up, you guys? It's your boy Miguel giving your daily dose of radiation. In today's video, we are covering how working with another tech who's not usually your regular partner. If you work night shift, usually you work with one other person or two. If you work with an opposite crew, as we call it, the workflow-ish is kind of different, kind of off, even though we technically do the same thing. We take the beloved images or fluoroscopy or whatever you're doing at work. It's kind of the same thing. People have their own ways of handling patients or handling the workflow, especially in night shift. It's a little bit different than day shift. So there's a different kind of work balance that gets thrown. Always when I had to work with day shift people at night, it's kind of a switching of how the doctors, nurses, and everyone do their stuff, stats, and like there's a bunch of little quirks that come with night shift that day shift doesn't do, that sometimes you have to kind of tell them. At the end of the day, it just makes the work more easier and more smoother. But at the end of the day, majority of the time, regardless of who comes in to work with you, you can, as long as they've been there and they know how to do their job, usually it's a pretty smooth night. It's just off. Like, let me give you an example. So I work at a trauma 3 ER. I do night shift, right? Occasionally, your significant partner, whoever you work with, and there's only two of us, will take off vacation, is sick or whatever, holidays, whatever, right? So I'll get stuck with someone in the daytime or the opposite night shift. If it's the opposite night shift, it's not really that bad. It's just more of a technical issues. It'll be like how they begin the exam, how fast do they go shoot the exam, handling of the Xray board, or how they like to bring patients back to the room, shoot it portable, do this, adjust this. There's very little quirks of the job or documentation or notes like that, right? Like, let me give you an example. For a perfect, in my situation, of a perfect X-ray exam, let's say it's a chest X-ray, my partner will usually go in ahead of me, like maybe 20 seconds ahead of me. We'll go in, talk to the patients, kind of says the same thing. Hey, I'm here to do an X-ray. If there's someone in the room, usually they'll hit this infamous quote of, hey, we'll need you to step out so we can bring in the machine. That as I'm driving the little portable, if I hear that, I already know, hey, Miguel, you gotta wait, someone's gonna come out, right? If I don't hear that and she just proceeds to talk to the patient about getting the chest X-ray, usually I'll just shimmy on it. And then depending, you can kind of tell based off of the patient if it's going to be I just give the X-ray board to my partner and they place it, and while she's doing that, I adjust the tube, get the machine ready, and just shoot it. Other times, as I'm putting on my gloves, I'll look at the patient, I'm like, okay, this is a two-man job. I will probably have to assist getting the X-ray board behind the patient, or it's going to be, like it's a trauma hip or something that I'll probably need to let up or whatever. Like, you can kind of, if you do it long enough, you can kind of eyeball it and see what's going on, and you can kind of gauge if it's going to be a one-man job or a two-man job, right? And we'll finish that, and then we'll look at the images, wipe down the board, or do whatever we got to do, and then proceed to the next. Other times, when you're stuck with someone else who works differently, the way they communicate with the patient or the way they do stuff doesn't go as smoothly. There's been times, and I'm always thankful, especially in traumas, where let's say someone's leg got broken and they order a femur knee tip fit. Me and my partner have literally shot in traumas, said no word to each other. We just kind of already knew. We just went to a smooth. There was a nurse who sat there and was just monitoring the patient and told us, y'all guys did the whole procedure, didn't say a single word to each other, and you got the job done flawlessly, didn't have to repeat it, didn't do nothing. And I was like, yeah, that's what happens when you're with someone that you do it so long and it's just perfect. You're on top of your knowledge, and it's just a smooth, perfect run, no complications, no hesitations, everything perfect. And I'm like, yeah, there's been other times where you work with someone and they're like, hey, do you want to do it like this, or do you want to do it like this, or we think this, like, it's like a back and forth, and it kind of delays the other exams you have to do, which is not like a big deal. It's just, it can always be smoother and more easier for you if you have something like that. I always appreciate my partner every time I see him, especially like when they go on vacation and you're back with your regular groove. You can feel night and day when you're back to usual groove. But it's not nothing crazy or serious. It's just something that you can tell. Even like if you have someone who's barely training versus someone who's been there versus a veteran tech, all three of those, yes, the job will get done, but your way of efficiency, if you work with a veteran tech versus someone who's just been there a little bit, like you can if you just watch the workflow, you can already tell. Even right now that I'm going into work right now, depending who's there, I already can kind of expect if there's going to be a lot of stuff for me that I have to pick up from the other shift, or if everything got done and we'll just be a clean slate and I'll just work into the night shift. You can kind of see that from the workflow. And yeah, it's been your boy Miguel. If you check out my channel, I post almost every single day on different aspects of this beautiful field of radiology as I educate you in various subjects of this beautiful field. And yeah, it's been your boy Miguel. See you on the next one.